Very early on in the plans for Lincoln Center, its sponsors wanted to provide for young people and their systematic training in the performing arts. So they decided to invite the famous Juilliard School to make its home, its permanent home, in the center, and to extend its usual curriculum in music and dance to include also advanced training in drama. Now, we're going to illustrate for you how an advanced student can turn into a finished artist. First, we shall see a Juilliard class in opera, and then scenes from the same opera sung and played by two distinguished members of the Metropolitan Opera, London and Laurel Hurley.
That's much better, don't you think?
Yes.
But once again, I must stress communication. It's your primary task to deliver the words and the music. The audience must never have the slightest doubt about the tones and the word sounds that they're supposed to be hearing. Nothing drives people out of theaters so quickly as singing in English that they can't understand. Yes?
What about interpretation?
Well, if they don't understand what you're talking about, how can you interpret anything? Now, this is a point I'd like to stress. I can't stress it enough. The first thing that you're supposed to do is to make clear the word and the sound. Only then can we begin to think about interpretation. For instance, supposing you said, I like you. It isn't very clear. What can you interpret? But if you said, I like you, you can do with it whatever you want to. You can make it mean what you want to. For instance, you might say sarcastically, I like you. Or you might say venomously, I like you. A world of difference, right? Now, is there any musical comment?
None except to agree with you that words and the musical phrases must be treated as sentences.
Fine, good. Then let's try it again from the top. Oh, let's not forget the irony of this. Leporello has as his prime objective to be like Don Giovanni. Unfortunately, he lacks courage. And so in this situation, we find him in great fear, speaking to the statue of the murdered commendatore. Now, how does he speak to him? Well, he uses the same flattering language to keep the spirit of the dead man away that Don Giovanni uses to get close to the girls that he's running after. Now, Leporello doesn't appreciate this. His body shows that he's terribly fearful, but Don Giovanni appreciates it, and his bodily position will show that he's enjoying the situation. Let's try it now.
O worthy Mr. Monument, revered and late commander, my lord, my knees are shaking. Oh, master, continue, I cannot.
Go on with it, or I promise I'll kill you on the spot. I'll kill you on the spot.
How can he be so spiteful?
This scene is most delightful.
My tongue is frozen tight.
He is a sorry sight. He is a sorry sight.
Oh, worthy
That's very, very much better. You see, the character begins to mean something there. Now, in returning to your question about interpretation, first the word, then the tone or the music, whatever it might be, and then we can begin to think about such things as body movement, footwork. Now, on that score, look at the simple footwork that would be involved in a seemingly very innocent duet, which Giovanni begins by asking Zerlina for her hand. What happens when George London, playing the part of Giovanni, asks Laurel Hurley as Zerlina for her hand? Well, everybody who sees or hears him in any of the great opera houses or anywhere is sure to see and be aware of all the irony that's behind what he's saying in this innocent little song of seduction. Yet consider how simple and naive and apparently artless this music is.
Da qui
vorrei, non vorrei, mi trema un poco il cuore, felice per stare
tangerà la sorte.
Non so più forte, non so più forte, non so più forte.
Vieni, vieni, là ci darem la mano.
Vorrei e non vorrei.
Là mi dirai di sì.
Mi trema un poco il cuore.
Partiam ben mio da qui.
Non può curarmi.
Vieni, mio bene, io canterò Andiamo, andiamo, mio bene, a ristorarmi bene, innocente amor. Andiamo, andiamo, mio bene, a ristorarmi bene, innocente amor. Andiam, mio bene, andiam, le bene a ristorare d'innocente amor. Il calavino calda la testa, la capesta va a preparare, si cominciata qualche ragazza, dico che quella cerca menar, dico che quella cerca menar, cerca menar, cerca menar, senza gradine la sia, il minuetto, chi la folia, chi la ramana, fare ballar, il minuetto, fare ballar, chi la folia, fare ballar, chi la ramana, fare ballar, se gli fa tanto bella giocata, con questa e quella vomoreggiar, 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 alla ministra, domma mattina, giù la decina, devi avanzare, alla ministra, giù la decina, devi avanzare, se tu mi piazza qualche ragazza, secca che quella, cerca menare, alla ministra, domma mattina, giù la decina, devi avanzare, senza colorine, la sia, chi il menuetto, chi la foria, chi la ramana, fuori ballare, alla ministra, domma mattina, giù la decina, devi avanzare, su la decina, devi avanzare, su la decina, devi avanzare, devi avanzare, devi avanzare, devi Vieni alla finestra, oh mio tesoro, vieni a consolare il pianto mio. Se neghi a me di dar qualche ristoro, davanti agli occhi tuoi morir poch'io. Tu c'hai la bocca dolce del miele, tu che zucchero porti in mezzo al cuore. con me crudele. Lasciati al me vedere mio bel amore.